Hey, Zane Griggs here. So what is the best way to work out to get that leaner look and improve insulin sensitivity? Now, contrary to popular belief, many people think it's the steady state cardio, that because you're going to be in that fat burning zone, but I'd like to tell you something a little different, okay, that I think would be actually a better way to get that leaner, hard body kind of look. You know, you have a little more muscle tone, a little firmer looking muscle, and improve, again, insulin sensitivity. Now, if you don't know what that is, insulin sensitivity is the opposite of insulin resistance. So insulin resistance is when your muscle cells say, hey, tell insulin that's trying to bring fuel to you, no, you know what, we're full, no more room at the end, take that fuel over to the fat cells and store it there for later. Okay, so we want insulin sensitivity, which means the muscles are receptive to insulin and to the fuel being brought into the muscle. So if you have the fuel coming into the muscle cells, it's not going to the fat cells for storage, right? You got to store it somewhere. You got to have a certain amount of fuel in your body sometime, for some energy. So you might as well store it in the muscle cell rather than the fat cell, right? So what we want to, now diet, of course, is, as I always say, diet is the most important thing to get in line first, because you can't out-exercise a bad diet, no matter what your plan looks like. If you're on, you got pizza and ice cream and candy going all the time, that's not going to work. Or if you're just eating too many starches and sugars, you're not going to be able to get any headway with your exercise routine. But, okay, that being said, diet in place, okay, you want to go for two things: high rep weight training, okay, and high intensity cardio. Now, by high rep weight training, I'm talking about at least 10 reps up to 20 reps, maybe in the 15 to 20 rep range, okay, at going to failure. Okay, so not where you could do 30 or 40, it's so light you could do 30 or 40, but you stop at 15 or 20, but like where you're burning out, it's burning, you're fatiguing at 15 to 20 rep range. For some of you guys who maybe want to hold on to a little more strength, what you could do is a weight where you could do 8, 10, 12 reps with, and you're burning out, and you immediately put that weight down and pick up a weight that's closer, maybe 40, 50, 60% of that first weight, and finish your reps out. So you might do 10 or 12 with, say, 50s, and then put those down and grab 25 or 30s and do a few extra reps. Or if that's not how you want to do a drop set, you can just find a mid-level weight, that 40, in that range, 35, 40 pounds, or whatever it is for you that you burn out in the 15 to 20 rep range. And what that does is it drains the glycogen from the muscle cells, much more so than a heavy set in the 5 to 8 rep range. Those are great for getting stronger. So if you're working on strength, working out in the 5 to 8 rep range is great. But if you're trying to get leaner, build a more toned, firmer muscle, okay, burn off more energy, burn off more glycogen, and train your body to start storing more fuel in the muscle cell, then you're going to want to do 15 to 20 reps to burn off more glycogen, to burn off the fuel and train your body. Okay, this is where we want to start storing fuel. We want to start storing it in this muscle cell, and we don't need to take it to the fat cells for fuel. And that is by definition, the improvement of insulin sensitivity, okay? The other high intensity cardio, okay, is doing very much the same thing. It's draining the muscle cells of glycogen, okay, of stored glucose, basically, and telling your body this is where we want to store the fuel. Now, you don't need to worry about this being unless you're doing a really specific bodybuilder diet or bodybuilder workout, you're not going to get huge. Okay, you're not going to wake up one morning like all of a sudden, oh my gosh, I look like I do steroids. Okay, so that's not going to happen. Most of us are trying to work towards that, and we have a hard time doing it. It also depends on your diet. So you have to be eating a lot of carbs to really build that large body as well. So if you're managing your carb intake and eating a good clean diet and working out this way in a circuit form, okay, so circuit with the weight training in that range. So you're moving from body part to body part to body part, not doing 12 sets of the same body part in a row, okay, like a bodybuilder, but doing the high reps, maybe doing a chest work, and then back, and then legs, and then abs, and moving it around quickly, okay, and then maybe finishing that with some high intensity cardio, doing high intensity cardio another day, high intensity cardio being, let me come back to that, anywhere from 10 seconds to a minute of high intensity work. And then you might have a rest in between of 30 seconds to a minute or 2 minutes in between those intervals. And what that does is it builds more mitochondria in the muscle cell. So mitochondria, the powerhouse of the cell, remember that from high school biology? So that's where you burn off more fuel. So you put in more mitochondria through the high intensity cardio. You're going to burn more fuel throughout your day because that mitochondria is just turning over more energy. You're going to have more energy, burn more fuel, and your body's going to store more fuel in that muscle cell than it does in going to the fat cell. So it's going to spend the rest of your day trying to refuel and refill that muscle cell, okay, instead of it going to the fat cells. And that's why it creates a firmer, toner looking muscle, okay? It feeds the fat cells less. So, and really opens up by improving insulin sensitivity, we're unlocking those fat cells, because when insulin resistance is high, okay, we have more insulin going through our system, which locks up those fat cells. It's like your body doesn't even see the fat cells and won't tap into them for fuel. But when we improve insulin sensitivity through these mechanisms with the weight training and the high intensity cardio, we are creating a new pathway for the fuel that we eat, okay, to go towards muscles. It's more receptive to insulin. Insulin levels across the body go down. Okay, so if you've got more than 20 or 30 extra pounds of weight, you've got some level of insulin resistance. And so to improve that, when you improve that, you have more fuel going to the muscle cell, and insulin over your entire body, throughout your system, goes down, which allows your body to unlock those fat cells and start using more of your stored fat for fuel. So it works in more than one way. It unlocks the fat cells and tells your body to store more in the muscle. So those are my recommendations: high rep weight training, high intensity cardio with intervals of anywhere from 10 seconds, like a full-on sprint, to 1 minute. And it could be running, but it could also be on a bike. It could be on a rowing machine. Anything can get your heart rate up out of that cardio zone into a higher intensity range, okay, where you can't maintain it for more than a minute without fatiguing and without your energy level really dropping. So that's why it's 10 seconds to a minute. You're fatiguing during that period, and then you get to rest, and then you come back and do it again repeatedly for anywhere from 15, 20, maybe 30 minutes. So once again, if you have any questions, post them below. If you know someone that benefit from hearing this, please tag them in the comments. And if you need help with your fitness or your weight loss plan, feel free to reach out to me. That's what I do. I'm happy to help. Talk to you later.